It's time now for County-Wide, a presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. You'll hear about the interesting issues and happenings that affect all our lives. Here's today's County-Wide.
Well, good day and welcome to the program. It's County-Wide, and I'm Brad Miller. Happy to welcome into studio today Crisi Clark. Crisi is Economic Development Specialist with the town of Verde. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
And you wear a lot of hats, and one of those is also as president of the Verde Valley Leadership Organization, and that's kind of what our focus will be about today, Verde Valley Leadership. Let's just start with this. My first question simply is, what is that? Help our listeners understand. Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Verde Valley Leadership is a leadership program. We work in partnership with Yavapai College to provide individuals with enhancement skills for their leadership journey.
Okay. Now, we talk in business especially. It sounds like this might lead itself to coaching kids sports or any kind of endeavor.
It can actually be for anything.
Sure.
Anyone can be a leader. So it helps organizations to retain their individuals when you have good leadership. So our program, what they do is they actually teach individuals how to do public speaking,
okay,
emotional intelligence, just a problem solving, and how to be a good leader versus a poor manager.
Right. And that's important on a lot of different levels.
It is.
Yeah. One of our terrific stars here at Yavapai Broadcasting, Gianna Hazard, just recently took the class and just said it was something. And she's a gal who's very outgoing and easy to kind of talk to people and like that. But I thought, wow, she gained a lot of insights and skills, she thought, from this. So I can see how it would benefit a lot of people, maybe especially if you're young and new, or if you've been promoted into a position where you've got a little more responsibility or authority than you had before. Are those the kinds of people typically that come to you, or whom do you see?
Well, just for example, so I took the leadership class 3 years ago when I started my new position in economic development. I came from a sales background.
Yeah.
So I was used to being in public speaking, but never in the sense that I do now through economic development.
Right.
So I was a little nervous, very intimidated. I took the class and I grew so much. I received a promotion. I now manage the visitor center over in Camp Verde. I enjoy public speaking. To a certain extent, I still get nervous, but I'm more comfortable. And I've learned little tricks like take a sip of water,
right.
If you get flustered, take a sip of water or just take a deep breath. And I also learned through the program and all the students all the participants in my class, everyone experiences the same thing.
Yeah.
Everyone needs room to grow. Everyone needs a safe space. So the classroom is a safe space to practice all of these things that you're learning.
Right.
I will also say that, so I was new in my leadership career. However, there have been individuals that were sergeants in the police force that are now council members after the program. People just grow within their organization, and probably 80% of them grow within their organization or are promoted to better positions and receive better jobs just because of the skills that they get from this class.
That's interesting. I think we saw something, and I'm just kind of paraphrasing, but I think divorce was number 3, prison was number 2, and public speaking was number 1 on the list of things that scare people to death. Anybody, I sit here all day and run my mouth into this microphone. You put me in front of more than 3 people, and I freeze up. I don't do it very well at all. Jackie, our general manager out there, I think he loves a crowd. He is so at ease, and so I don't know if he's been through the class. But there you go. It illustrates how people have just really different kind of skill sets in anything they're doing. But to elevate that, you do need to be a little more outgoing if you're not naturally an extrovert. And it sounds like that's what it does, is kind of builds confidence.
It really does.
Awareness of your situation in a group or whatever kind of setting it may be.
It does. And you become really good friends with your classmates. They become family for life.
But you got to kind of open up to them.
Yeah. And so they critique you, but it's in a kind way, and everyone is just wanting to help each other.
Yeah.
So that's helpful. And Dr. Hannah with the Yavapai College, she teaches the first portion of the class.
Okay.
And so that leadership portion is so important to all the organizations. Just good leadership is so important in general.
Right. It's funny because leadership is one of those words you can define in a lot of different ways. Most of us think of in the employee, the employment situation, your boss or general manager or supervisor, whomever it be. But you can be a leadership among your peers.
Yes.
Among your coworkers to whom you don't kind of officially outrank. And I think most of us can probably think of one or two people in our lives or a part of our lives that are like that. And you wonder how this kind of class and this curricula will help them boost. You've described it already with a number of people. Mm-hmm. When we say class, I'm picturing a classroom setting. Yavapai College, is it 1 week? Is it walk me through that a little bit.
Okay, so the program it's one Friday a month.
Oh.
And it's typically on the second Friday of every month. Okay. However, this year, April is going to be the first Friday. It's a little wonky for that month.
Okay.
The class, one Friday per month, and it'll last from March 14th until December. And then the graduation ceremony takes place in January.
Okay.
So 10 months, 1 day a month. The first portion of the class is the leadership learning with Dr. Hannah and Yavapai College. The second portion of the class is something the board members created, and that's actually a community engagement day. So several different things can happen. Sometimes we do a mayoral panel where the students get to actually talk to the mayors and ask them questions about their leadership journey.
Okay.
And then there's also, they may do a tour. For example, we had a history day. So all of the students went to Camp Verde and they toured the fort and the archaeology center and did the walking tour. And so that was pretty exciting. And they just get out. They'll meet with nonprofit leaders. They'll travel all over the Verde Valley and Sedona just to get familiar with the community and its resources.
Right. And one community, we're all kind of connected with our Red Rocks and our Verde River and,
Mm-hmm.
our kind of rural lifestyle and all of the things that attract those of us who live here. But the communities are unique.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're very similar. We're pretty closely connected, but they're all a little bit different. And even, a lot of business sense or how communities are run are different from one to the other. Different needs, different demands, different resources.
Yeah.
So having that is going to be what I'm getting is a picture of a pretty well-rounded program. How long has this been going on?
Well, this is class 18 this year.
Wow. Okay.
So it's been
a lot.
Yeah, it's been around for a while. It's been refined. Some things have been added. Some things have been removed. So it changes. It grows with the times.
Right.
But this is our 18th year. And we're excited for it. We're pumped, ready to go. There's some new things coming up, some new experiences. We're excited to get this class started.
Okay, I'm going to try to get you to tip your hand what some of those will be as this class continues. Interesting. If you are in a position you want to get on board with this, we'll talk at the end of the show about how to contact Crisi and or Yavapai College, and we'll get those particulars about how you might be a part of this. But it sounds like it's a big world out there, and to keep up, you sometimes need to hone your skills, even if you have been in business or in a leadership position for a long time. Sounds to me like this is a class that is going to be a comfort and a welcome addition to anybody's resume. Crisi Clark is the president of the Verde Valley Leadership. We'll talk more on Countywide right after this.
Life changes, then it changes again. Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called unexpected. So when it comes to financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Matthias Sandoval. A job loss, change in health, or a loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Call our office to schedule a face-to-face appointment.
Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Verde Solaire, your hometown heating, air conditioning, and plumbing company in the Verde Valley. And your trusted North Central Arizona Goodman dealer. Goodman is a name you can trust with the revolutionary Comfort Bridge technology factory installed into select Goodman gas furnaces and air handlers to ensure the entire system operates at peak energy efficient performance. Verde Solaire offers free in-home estimates, locally owned and operated since 1983. Visit them at verdesolaire.com. Better, cleaner, faster.
Thank you so very much for your generosity and kindness in helping others. I hope that you take advantage of the many Arizona state tax credits available when giving to qualified charities and schools. If you haven't taken advantage, I hope you'll ask your favorite charity if they qualify. You can go to Arizona Department of Revenue website, search for tax credits, and look at the list of qualifying charities. Then look at your latest Arizona income tax return and see how an Arizona tax credit can benefit many. This is Lewis saying thanks again.
Let's talk. That's the message from Jonna Randall Murdoch, your local Farm Bureau agent, providing a personal touch when making insurance and financial decisions. Jonna will simplify your insurance needs while offering competitive pricing. Let's talk auto, home, life, and farm. Call Jonna at Farm Bureau today at 928-649-8686. Your Cottonwood Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company. At Farm Bureau, they insure more than just farms.
And back to the program, again, countywide. Brad Miller here. Crisi Clark is our guest today, and she is the president of Verde Valley Leadership. Been around for, you said, 18 years, so been a good track record.
Yeah. This is our class 18.
A lot of folks have been through that. And the class size is what about?
It's usually about 12 to 15 people.
Perfect, seems. Enough everybody gets attention, yet a pretty good little group. It's a lot of eyes on you when you're giving your own presentations or whatnot. It's funny because I'm kind of triggering on that from what we talked about in the first part, in that that is sometimes I think we kind of poo-poo it or push it to the side, but that's a huge barrier to be able to get up. Maybe you're on unfamiliar territory and have to illustrate for a group of listeners, even in a classroom setting, a point or a purpose or something. That's very difficult. I mean, even some people can't even do it at all. I'm close to being one of them. But that's what this is, isn't it? It's just about kind of getting you out of your comfort zone and pushing the baby bird out of the nest to fly to the next big thing.
It really is. Now, you develop a relationship with your classmates.
Yeah.
So you also do little projects within your groups. Sometimes they involve Legos. Sometimes they involve blindfolds and direction. And so that sort of thing's exciting. And through that, you develop a relationship with your classmates. So it's much easier to get in front of them and talk about something than it would be if they were complete strangers.
Right.
So it helps to build their confidence in everything you do. I mean, it's used throughout your daily life.
It's interesting. I'm rereading again the book Band of Brothers, famously made into an HBO miniseries. And it's about World War II and some of the guys. And it just, when we talk about leadership, and there's a cliche that I'll massacre, but it's about strong leaders aren't born that way. They have it sometimes thrust upon them. And in the Band of Brothers, you see that time after time where these were kids. I mean, They were children, 20, 21, 22, 19 years old, who became strong leaders. And that was a battlefield setting, perhaps the most dramatic kind of setting. But it's true that you can take that and blend it all down into the workplace, maybe most commonly, on the soccer field, just every walk of life, even at home with your own kids, kind of understanding the certain dynamics that this class will teach and how to communicate is really the ball game. Better what you're after and what you're expecting and what your needs are, whether you're the leader or the subordinate, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, and what's really important when you say communication, I think listening skills are
Nobody does it anymore.
Yeah, they're as important as speaking skills. So if you know how to listen and you know how to take someone's input and use it, that's great leadership. When you bring everyone in your team involved into the project or involved in whatever it might be, they have a say in it. It builds confidence, it builds strength in your team, and they all feel invested. And so it's just, not everyone is an expert in everything.
Right.
So, you have employees that are experts and you need their input. And so it's everyone plays a valuable space, and a leader should know how to improve on these skills and how to bring everyone in to improve the workforce.
And one of the things I think, and again, I keep looking at this from a business standpoint, and I can certainly see how maybe it fits the business community best. And a lot of folks are business people that come through that class. And I think that's well by design. But it's not just about kind of leading by example. Those are strong things. A lot of us know those kinds of things. But it's not just that I don't do it. It's that you sometimes don't know how to work yourself into those positions. You said listening. That's a huge part of it. Anybody who's worked with people for more than 5 minutes knows that, but it's easier said than done. And this is a class, it sounds like, that'll help me understand you're not listening the right way. Here's what you need to hear, and that's what the teacher will do. That's what your classmates will do. It sounds like a very peer-based kind of thing.
It is. And you learn from your peers, and you learn from also leaders within the community. Yeah. So, you just gain all the knowledge, and then you can take your favorite parts of it and use it and practice it. And that's what this class allows you to practice in a safe environment and to learn and try new things.
Something about leadership, too, is not just you're the guy at the front of the pack, which is often what it is, but how to kind of best get out of your employees, say, their best and turn them into future leaders. And that maybe is the biggest trick of all. That's something that experience and knowledge and a class like this can prepare you and help you kind of go after.
Yeah, and it's very important to have an all-inclusive team. If you can listen and you can bring your team into one, I mean, you think about a football game. Right. You get everyone playing their strong points, and you're going to win the Super Bowl. Yeah. But in the same thing in the workforce. And, I do want to say it's not just in a manufacturing setting or a business setting. We have realtors that participate in the class. We have teachers, nonprofit organizations. There is a wide variety of individuals who have participated in this class. It's all welcoming.
Yeah, you can see the benefit on just about any kind of front that you choose to apply it to. Talk to me a little bit about, now this is an accredited class. If I'm going to eventually work for a degree at Yavapai College, this might be a part of that. Is that right?
That's absolutely right. So it's through Yavapai College. We partner with them, and Dr. Hannah is an employee at Yavapai College. Yeah. She teaches the class.
The classes are at, the Clarkdale campus?
Yeah, at the Clarkdale campus. Okay. Yep, on the second Friday of every month. Okay. So there's 4 credits that the students will obtain through the Yavapai College, and they also get a badge. This badge is something they can put on their signature so that it reflects. You can click on the badge and learn more about that individual by what classes they've taken, what credits they've earned, and that sort of thing. So we do have a badge system that's going into place this year, so that's pretty exciting. Okay. And the 4 credits, as I mentioned, through Yavapai College, all the materials are provided with the class fees. Sure. And there are scholarships available. We understand that a lot of nonprofits just don't have the money to help. So we do have scholarships upon request. You'll be interviewed for the scholarships to see if we can give them to you.
Okay. And is it just one class per year that first Friday? I'm going to get the 12 to 15 in the classroom, and then that'll go, and then the next one will be the next one. Or they do alternate Fridays with 2 sets of classes moving through?
Gotcha. No, it's one class
just one.
Per year.
Okay, yes. That's what it sounded like. Okay.
Yeah, so this year it's class 18, and then next year it'll be class 18.
Okay, sounds great. This is exciting, and this is something that it seems would be of great interest and a lot of promise for anybody in any kind of leadership position. You described at the top of the show, Crisi, how many people have further excelled at jobs they already had, or even moved up, or even on to something bigger because they've kind of come through this class. Strong recommendations from a lot of the folks that have been through it. We'll take another short break. When we come back, we'll get you those phone numbers and websites and all of that information in case you want to become part of the Verde Valley Leadership Class. And again, March 14th?
Yep.
Coming up, we'll talk more about it with Crisi Clark, our guest on Countywide, right after this.
Life changes, then it changes again. Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called unexpected. So when it comes to financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Matthias Sandoval. A job loss, change in health, or a loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Call our office to schedule a face-to-face appointment.
Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Verde Solar, your hometown heating, air conditioning, and plumbing company in the Verde Valley. and your trusted North Central Arizona Goodman dealer. Goodman is a name you can trust with the revolutionary Comfort Bridge technology factory installed into select Goodman gas furnaces and air handlers to ensure the entire system operates at peak energy efficient performance. Verde Solar offers free in-home estimates, locally owned and operated since 1983. Visit them at verdesolar.com. Better, cleaner, faster.
Thank you so very much for your generosity and kindness in helping others. I hope that you take advantage of the many Arizona state tax credits available when giving to qualified charities and schools. If you haven't taken advantage, I hope you'll ask your favorite charity if they qualify. You can go to Arizona Department of Revenue website, search for tax credits, and look at the list of qualifying charities. Then look at your latest Arizona income tax return and see how an Arizona tax credit can benefit many. This is Lewis saying thanks again.
Let's talk. That's the message from Jonna Randall Murdoch, your local Farm Bureau agent, providing a personal touch when making insurance and financial decisions. Jonna will simplify your insurance needs while offering competitive pricing. Let's talk auto, home, life, and farm. Call Jonna at Farm Bureau today at 928-649-8686. Your Cottonwood Farm Bureau property and casualty insurance company. At Farm Bureau, they insure more than just farms.
Welcome back to the program. Our final moments. Crisi Clark is the president of Verde Valley Leadership. And you sold me. This sounds great. This sounds like it would be a benefit for just about anybody who has a career or has any interaction with other human beings. So that's every single one of us probably could do well with this class. Now, do I register through Yavapai College or get a hold of you? How do I get on board if I want to sign up?
Actually, you can register. There's a button on our website to register here, and the website is www.vvleadership.org.
Okay. vvleadership.org. Gotcha. And then I'll find it from there.
Yeah, and you can also visit our Facebook page at Verde Valley Leadership. There's links on there to apply for the class. There's information on Facebook. Follow us and check us out.
Get a good look at it all. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then again, accredited 4 credits through Yavapai College. Scholarship availability is a possibility. And then I guess March 14th is registration deadline, or that's the next class, or?
That's the date the next class starts. So We're accepting applications and doing interviews right now.
Don't delay.
Yeah, don't delay.
All right, Crisi, thank you so much for all of that, being a part of this terrific program. Verde Valley Leadership, again, vvleadership.org to learn more, to get registered, and to be a part of it. Our guest, Crisi Clark. I'm Brad Miller. It's Countywide, and we'll see you next time.
This has been Countywide. Listen in each Tuesday and Thursday at this time. If you have a topic or guest idea that you'd like to suggest, email us, news@myradioplace.com.